Hello everyone, and welcome for this tutorial on aepp, and especially on the command line interface for aepp that has been released some time ago, but I didn't have time to actually do a video over this. So I'm doing it now, and I want to show you what is today available on the command line interface and how you can access it. So for this, you need to have the latest version of aepp. And once you have that, normally I'm in a Windows machine, so I would imagine it's a bit different on Mac. I think you don't. There are some commands that are different to start the CLI and the command line interface. But on a Windows, you can open as usual a terminal in the folder. So it is very similar to what you have been doing in the past regarding the launch of Jupyter Lab or Jupyter Notebook to start the API, but this time you are going to write Python -m, and then you can type app CLI, and that will start the CLI as we have now started here. This CLI then require for you to have access to the Adobe Experience Platform API. So for this, I will refer to all my videos regarding how to set up access for an API key, an API client ID, and so forth, and an auth authentication. But what you can do once you have that is actually set config. Then you can pass, there are several parameters that you can pass. And you can always check which parameter are available. Then you can check also which command are available by using the help function. This gives you all of the available things, and you can see there is this config that I was talking about. There is a create config file if you need to create one. You have create sandbox or get sandbox and change sandbox. We're going to see them, and then there are some schema related methods available, some dataset related method, audience related method, flows, queries, profile, and synchronization capability. So if I go now to the config, you can actually use the h command for all of the method to actually see what is available as options. So you see that you have a sandbox, secret, org ID, scope for AC, CID for client ID, and you have the CF for config file. So this replaces all of the above. It depends on which system and which environment. If you are in the cloud environment, sometimes you are using environment variable that you want to reference here, and sometimes you just want to have the configuration file available. So for this, now we're going to use the config .cf by config. I think it's app training .json, but I will actually check with you. Config app training.json. So this is my file. So actually, I can pass that. And one important thing is that you can also overwrite whichever sandbox you have in your configuration file to actually use the one sandbox that you want to directly connect to. So now I'm going to connect to prod. And you see now I'm connected to prod, and I can actually use all of those methods to get the information. So I can get the schemas, for examples, and this gives me the schemas and anything. You can actually get schemas H. You can see that you can save this. You can filter for specific schema. So for example, I want to have my data analyst schema. So I can actually do get schema filter for data analyst. And you see that now I'm only accessing the data analyst. Once you get the schema, you can actually get several things from the schema. You can get the schema CSV. This is one of the methods. You can directly copy paste the schema ID here, schema CSV, and I'm going to do that. It's going to create for me and save it on my machine, CSV format of the schema. So you will be able to then document your schema and place it in the related element that you want to have for your documentation. So you see that I've exported to data analysis event schema .csv. So if I look now in my folder and I date modified. So today I actually did the data analyst event schema, and if I open it, you will see the elements as you expect to see. So I'm to delimit it here, comma separate it. I finish this so I can see all of my different fields that I have, their type, a description, the origin, where they are coming from, and so forth. So this is the way to extract the schema as a CSV. You can also extract the schema as a JSON. So you can do get a schema JSON, and I'm going to, hopefully I still have it on the CSV. Okay, I can do that. So this is going to also take a time, but it's also sometimes useful to have the JSON format of your schema to see how it looks like, or what you need to do, especially if you have IT department that require to have this in order to send payloads into your schema. So now I can actually open it. Just give me a sec. And this gives me, okay, the JSON schema, as you see. There are additional reference that I've developed over time for this JSON setup. So you can see that this is a string, but it's a URI reference. You can see timestamp is a string, but it has a datetime specification schema. Here are the environment, and you see the enum value that you can actually pass into that. And so forth. So this is sometimes be helpful for the IT department to see whichever data collection you need to have to load the data to see what is available and what is expected from your schema payload. You have the same thing from get data set. They have the same thing. You can just look at data set and see all of the things that are available. Dataset doesn't have so much information, but you see what they are created that, what are the data, if there have been any data ingested for those dataset, and the data type that they are recorded for profile, and time series for time series, and so experience event dataset. There are, I don't remember everything, so I need to check. Just give me a sec. You can get your DLZ credentials, so data landing zone. That is something that sometimes is credential. You can look at the edge, so you can either get user drop zone or destination. I would imagine user drop zone is the default. So you can actually say no destination, get me a credential for the destination, then it will show you my destinations credential. And you can do the same for now user drop zone. It will be a bit different. So it's here going to be a DLZ destination, and here TC container. So this is one of the interesting. You can get the get audiences that gives you a list of the audiences that you actually have. So you see total profile, what is the evaluation type, is it being used in flow or not, and then you can also get the flows. The get flows are actually very interesting because you have only the by default the inbound and outbound flows that are. You can also see the internal flows. Here in the basic get flow elements, you can see the name, the type, if it's a source or destination, if there have been any transformation, the flow specification, the source, and so on. You can see this is the data analyst, so from my website. And you can get more advanced information if you do get flow advanced equals true. Then you get the total run, the number of successful run, the success rate, the failure rate, if there is partial success or anything. So you see that everything is running correctly. I don't have any mistake or any issues. And by default, this is the last 30 days, but you can actually also extend that to the last 90 days. I would believe would be like this. And then we'll be getting more information, and that can be used for monitoring if you have any cron job that wants to monitor into the flows status and so on, and you can actually do all of those analysis directly from the CLI. And I think that makes things a lot easier. So see, it's taking a bit longer time when I do 90 days. And it's going to then return me with different numbers regarding the different success rate and so on. And if it's failing, it will be red. And if it's partial success, mostly, it's going to be yellow. Sec. So now it has run. So there have been some flickering on my computer. So it has. I needed to rerun it, but you can see now that I have extended for 90 days. I have actually 2 additional that have been done during the last 90 days. So streaming to data analyst, where only 1 run has been done, and file upload flow has been run. And you see that during the last 90 days, then here my edge network has actually had a partial success for 14 times. So still a success rate of 99% of the runs. So not something to worry too much about, but that's interesting for you to get that information. If I you can have in the help, I'm trying to show you. So you can also query. You can get the query that have been done. You can look at the. You can enable dataset. You can get the snapshot dataset for profile snapshot. You can get the union schema for event and for profile. You can also get the data type, of course, get the field groups. You can also get the UPS field groups and UPS schema. That is something that could be interesting for you, that to know, okay, which schema have been actually enabled for profile instead of versus the schema that have not been enabled for profile. And you can get the identities that are available in your sandbox. You can see that there are those customs ones. And finally, and I will finish on that, there are many things, and I'll let you read the documentation about the CLI. But the last thing is that you can get the sandboxes if you want, because now I'm actually the prod sandbox. But if I get the sandboxes, and you see I can have different sandboxes, according to your right and access policy, if your API has access to it, you can actually change the sandbox. And now do aepp training. Okay, I need to probably do that. It's not change sandbox. What is the name of it? Give me a sec. Help. This is where I change sandbox. Did I do sandbox with a E? That help. Get sandbox. I didn't see that head. So if I move to the aepp training sandbox, then you see that I'm switching context. And you can actually now do all of the things you had before, but just in this time, in this context, and there are different sandboxes. So this is it for the quick demo of the aepp CLI. So basically, it's a wrapper of a wrapper. I hope it will be useful for you. It can be implemented in many situations. We are doing that for clients. And yeah, it's still open source. If you want to contribute, if you have some ideas or what you would like to have as abstraction of the aepp different script that you have, yeah, please raise a ticket and raise a GitHub request for this. And then I will try to do that. You can then exit, and I'll let you into that. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.